Hello everyone, my name is Bright Navy. I'm here to present you with my database final project with the topic of railway system. So this is a part of my scenario that I came up with according to the topic of my program. I'm dealing with a railway system program whereby I'm looking at a Malawian company which handles the railway transportation in the country. So in this company, railway is always a railway which has passed across the country. It was actually established in 1902, and it was a government corporation that launched the national network of Malawian government privatization in 1990. The main purpose of the company is to ease more of transportation to local and international passengers across the country. The company is passionate to improve transportation system by providing cheaper mode of transport to the citizens. Malawi Railway mode of transportation aims to facilitate business to people and provide a safe travel at a fair fee over a long distance. So from these programs, the main principles of the company include transport passengers. The company provides a safe and a comfortable journey to passengers over a long distance, freight or goods, the transportation of heavy or bulky goods over long distance to supply the towns or villages, connections and strengthen the trade. It provides transport between towns and local areas across the country, thereby facilitating their business. So with this program, I'm going to design a database which will handle the problem and make it easier for the people like passengers, employees, and all the time setup that helps the train in all stations around the country. So this is the ER diagram that I came with from the program that I set up, where I have train, ticket, employees, customers, bookings, and payment, including the stations as my entities. From all these entities, I have main entities. So my main entities from this program were train, tickets, employees, customers, and station. These were the main entities, and the weak entities were bookings and payments. So from these entities, I've come up with the columns. Train, there is a train name, train ID, which is the primary key. And customers, they have customer ID, which is the primary key. And in the customers, we have train ID, which is a foreign key. Of payment, on the payment, we have customer ID, which is the main, we have customer ID, which is a foreign key, and we have a payment ID, which is primary key. The employees, they have employee ID, which is a primary key. On the bookings, we have book ID, which is our primary key. Depart, which talks about the time that the people or the travelers will leave the station, and the arrival dates, which describe about the day and the time that the travelers will arrive to their destination, and the book type. We have the station, we have the station ID, which is our primary key. We have the station name where passengers are boarding their trains. We have location. Location describes where the station is found, and we have train ID on the station, which is our foreign key. On the ticket, where the travelers will have to book and show a ticket. We have a ticket ID, which is our primary key. We have a customer ID, which is our foreign key. We have ticket date, which talks about the day that the travelers have booked and the day that they are going to be traveling. And we have ticket description, which talks about the starting and the ending of their journey. And if they have any packages or luggages which they're traveling with, they're included in the ticket. And here I have a logical derivation of the table. All these tables that I've shown up here, they are coming from this logic derivation. So on the logic derivation, I have train, which train, I have customers, I have payments, I have employees, I have bookings, stations, ticket, and loads. How is it? So and from there, I have put everything in the workbench. So in the workbench, I'm creating my database as a railway. So I'll use the railway. First of all, I've created the table, which the table called train, which is the main entity. So train have train ID, have train name, VACA 20, have train drive, have train ticket. So all these. From there, then I have to insert the train ID and the name of the train, the type of the train, and the train ticket. So from train, I have customer. So on the customer table, I've created the name of the customer. There will be a name of the first name of the customer, the last name of the customer, and the email address of the customer. I have telephone number of the customer. From there, I have a table of station table. So on the station table, we have the name of the station, we have the station ID, which is the primary key. So we have location and train ID, which is a foreign key in this table. So from there, we have a table, booking table, where the passengers who are traveling will book their day which they want to travel from the area to another area. So the booking ID, you have the depart, the arrival, book date as described. You have the create table for employment. So this table is about those people who are working in trains, the train driver, so and the other train assistants, and those people who are working in the stations. So from there, I have a ticket table, an employment table, and last you have the queries. The queries, the first query, which is train to train ID. So we are selecting train to train name, train to train ID, and train to from the train, and we are using inner join customers and customer ID, which is equal to train to train ID, inner join ticket, and ticket ID, and is equal to train. So this is giving us the table which is combining the train, customers, and the tickets, joining them together. And then we have to select another query, which is select from left. This one is joining the table of the station and the table of the train, but in the left side. And this one is select customer ID, whereby, so from this, we are going to select the customer ID from the customer table, in which we have 10 customer, which is on number 10 and number 13 and number 12. They are going to be selected. So in this table, in this query from train, where train name is equal to Ila, it's going to select the name of the train ID, where else the name of the train is indicated. And from there, we're going to select select from employee order by employee item. So with this query is going to perform that. When it selects the employee ID, it's going to give you the name and the first name of the employee, and the second name of the employee and their number. And the last query, which is select ticket, is actually joining the ticket and the train, which is inner joiners, is joining them innerly. So upon learning this, workbench is giving us, when we learn it, when learning it, it's giving us all the tables that I have created and all the queries which are performing different functions. So these are the tables which are being displayed from the problem. So the trend table, this is the trend table, so this is the customer table, and all other tables are displayed. We have the left joiner table, and we have the customer query. These are the queries. So upon learning this, the problem, these are the tables that are showing, and everything from the queries is being shown. Thank you.